Punta naman tayo sa assessment and identification. When assessing identification of disabilities, may general rules na pag-evaluate for special education. Yung mga expert, nag-screen sila ng mga student na nagpapakita ng problema or who are at risk. Noong 2013, nag-propose ng general principle in assessing learners. Meron silang 8 na ginawa. Yung una, dapat yung parents is mayroon silang participation or collaboration dahil sila yung main person na magdi-decide kung anong educational plan ang bagay para sa mga anak nila. The second one is dapat yung team is multidisciplinary, especially sa law. Dapat yung team na yon is nagko-compose siya ng professional na qualified para tama yung pag-evaluate sa batang may special problem or may special needs. Yung pangatlo naman is yung mga batang may suspected disabilities or nagpapakita na sila ng pagkakaroon nila ng disabilities is dapat ma-assess sila ng mas maaga and early as possible. Dapat din ma-ensure na all yung potential and known manifestation of EBD. And dapat carefully ma-examine yung cultural, sensitivity, reliability, and valid test tools ng bata. Ang pang-apat naman is assessment result. Dapat confidential siya, which is means yung teacher and then yung bata ay yung nanay lang ng bata yung nakakaalam kung ano yung educational plan na dapat sa kanila. Hindi dapat to nakakalabas in public, dapat keep it in private. Yung panglima, yung parents meron silang right sa medication or due process hearing wherever necessary. Yung pang-anim, yung periodic revolution is required all learners who are identified with disabilities. Dapat na ma-assess sila at least annually para makita if nag-improve ba yung bata sa educational plan na ginawa nga or pinili ng parents. Yung pang-7 naman is transitional planning must be part of IEP, especially for student na magta-transfer or galing sa high school papuntang college and then to or even sa pre-vocational. Yung pang-8 naman is yung student with EBD must be included in general assessment of educational process. Dapat included yung mga student na EBD sa educational process na ginagawa. Punta naman tayo sa screening is the systematic procedure of identifying children who show sign of behavioral disturbance or being at risk. Child behavior checklist, ito yung tools na na-utilize yung or pagde-detect ng emotional and behavioral problem ng bata or kahit ng adolescent or even the adolescent. Behavioral and emotional rating scale. Ito naman yung pag-utilize naman kasama na ang emotional and behavioral rating scale. And pangatlo siya sa edition in comprehensive assessment tools. And na-evaluate niya yung behavioral from 3 different viewpoints. Especially yung kasali dito yung estudyante na may special needs, yung parents ng estudyante, ng bata, yung structure na hahawak sa bata, and yung other professional. The burst 3 assess various dimensions of student capabilities including intrapersonal strength, family involvement, intrapersonal strength, and school functioning, and effective strength. The skills are valuable for assessing student for peripheral service. Ito yung pagsusuri ng iba't ibang kakayahan ng mga estudyante kung paano sila makipagkapwa-tao sa pamilya nila or sa ibang tao. And then yung systematic screening for behavioral disorder is a three-stage multiple grading screening system designed for this for the standardized screening and identification of students in grade 1 to 5 who are may be at risk at internalizing or externalizing or internalizing behavioral disorder. Ito naman is yung para masuri kung may problema ba yung mga bata sa pag-uugali, and then minomonitor, tinitingnan to from grade 1 hanggang grade 5 kung meron ba silang problema sa behavior, or kung yung problema ba na yun is madalas nilang nagagawa or hindi, kapansin-pansin ba yung behavioral nila or hindi. The SSBD is designed to structure and standardize teacher judgment in relation to screening all children in general classroom, setting so that each child has an equal probability of being identified for either externalizing or internalizing behavior disorder. Yung SSBD naman, yung para magkaroon ng pare-pareho at maayos na paraan para masuri ng mga ng guro ang hindi lang yung isa or kundi yung lahat ng bata sa klase. Sa ganitong paraan nga, lahat ng bata ay may pantay na pagkakataon na matukoy or malaman kung may problema ba sila sa pag-uugali nila or wala. Kasi dahil general to, lahat ng bata, may special needs man or wala, is susuriin nila. Susunod naman is direct observational and measurement of behavior. This type of assessment is where the teacher or expert directly observe the actual behavior that causes concern about the child's natural setting. This involves a time-consuming and accurate tolling of observed behavior that include its frequency, duration, and latency, typographic, and magnitude. Dito naman sinusuri ng mga guro yung ugali ng bata kung may dulot ba yung natural or yung kapaligiran nila sa kanila. Ito, kailangan dito is mahabang oras ng pag-evaluate, and dapat yung evaluation na yon is dapat totoo and may pinagbasihan. Hindi dapat hinulaan lang, dapat tumpak and may proof. And yung kasali din dito yung kung gaano kadalas, gaano katagal. Punta naman tayo sa fundamental behavior assessment refers to the systematic collection of data on problematic behavior in order to comprehend and articulate the underlying cause for its occurrence. There are 5 outcomes on an FBA. May 5 daw po na outcomes. Yung una, operational definition of the problem behavior. Dito tinutukoy or sinusuri kung ano nga ba yung mga problema or ano yung mga dapat ma-improve ng batang may special needs sa paraang pag-evaluate nila. And then yung pangalawa naman is this description of setting, events, and attendance that predict the occurrence and non-occurrence of the problem behavior. Dito naman is paglalarawan ng mga sitwasyon or pangyayari na naging dahilan ng problema ng pag-ugali ng bata. Kunyari, may trauma sila kaya nagkaroon ng cause na yung pag-uugali nila is nag-iba kumpara sa dati. Number 3, description of the sequence responsible for the problem. Dito naman yung paglalarawan ng mga pangyayari na nakakadulot ng problema. Kunyari, naapektuhan sila ng family nila kaya merong problema yung bata. And then yung pang-apat naman is verification of the predictors and sequences through direct observation. Yung pang-apat, sinasabi dito yung pagpapatunay ng mga dahilan at pangyayari sa pamamagitan ng direct observation or direktang pag-evaluate or pag-evaluation sa bata para mapatunayan or meron silang basihan. Sa 5 naman is summary hypothesis. Statement that serve as a basis for designing the positive behavior support plan. Dito naman, buod or kabuuan na information para malaman or kung ano yung nakuha nilang information na masasabing batayan para makagawa sila ng plano para sa panong way yung gagawin nila para sa magkaroon ng maayos na behavior or pag-uugali yung bata. Kumbaga, hanap sila ng plano. Ito bang plano na to is suit para sa maayos yung behavior ng bata or may makikita ba tayong improvement if gagamitin natin tong way na to sa kanya. Indirect functional behavior assessment. Dito, involves dito yung pagkokolekta ng information about the student na may special needs, kung paano sila makitungo sa ibang tao. Ano yung behavioral, ano yung problem nila when it comes sa behavior sa ibang tao or paano sila makitungo sa ibang tao. Katulad na kung paano sila makipag-usap sa parents nila, sa teacher nila or sa mga pinsan, kapatid, or kahit na sinong tao na mayroon interaction sa kanila. Yung pangalawa naman is descriptive functional behavior assessment. Dito naman is a type of FBA na ina-identify niya yung mga factor and causes or even the effects of behavioral through direct observation and systematic collection data on antecedents. Dito naman yung sabi nga dito, direct observational, face-to-face, kumbaga, direct, tinitingnan ng teacher kung ano nga ba yung pwede na lang makuhang information sa problema nga ng bata na yun para ma-improve yung bata. Functional analysis. When conducting a functional behavior analysis, the procedure primarily maintains manipulation. Well, dito, para mas simple nating maintindihan is ganito. Ang pag-aaralan natin, yung bata, kung bakit, kung kaya niya bang gawin yung isang bagay pag inutos natin sa kanila. And titingnan natin or evaluate natin kung magagawa ba niya ng maayos yung inutos mo sa kanya. And titignan natin kung ano ba yung gagawin niya bago niya gawin yung bagay na inutos natin, and kung ano yung gagawin niya pagkatapos niyang gawin yung inutos natin or inutos ng magulang sa kanya. Educational approach. Positive behavior intervention and support, the center of BPIS define positive behavioral intervention and support. Dito yung sinasabi ay yung BPIS ay isang paraan para matulungan or ma-help ng teacher yung isang bata may special needs kung paano umayos yung asa nila or ma-improve yung behavior nila pagdating sa pakikitungo sa ibang tao. Dito may iba't iba ding way para mas effective sa isang bata yung gagawing plano or plano sa kanila ng teacher nila para nga ma-improve yung behavior. Dapat din is yung teacher is alam niya kung anong strategies and even the skills yung gagamitin niya para sa batang may special needs. Punta naman tayo sa tiered system of support. Tiered 1, meron silang tatlo. Number 1 is tiered 1, universal school-wide system, data and practices that establish positive, predictable, and safe environment for all students, staff, and families. These include explicitly teaching behavioral expectation and acknowledging positive behavior. A structured approach when resources, support, or intervention are organized into different levels of tiers. Each